Okay folks, this will be an interesting one. It's a bit dirty. I shouldn't have put it on the bed, but I can't find another way to display it. It's too big. We're going to make it look really interesting, hopefully. It's been a bit wet today. It did dry. It was wet last night, strangely enough, and then it just decided to dry up, and then the rain came back. Okay, let's see what this piece is. It is, I found it on the street. It was already ripped up. I didn't have to tear it off myself. It's what I call simply a bill fragment, a piece of advertising material. I'm just going to put it on the glass like so. I'm just going to try make it look really nice, even though it's a piece of shit that I've picked up off the street. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting. I do think maybe move it down a bit. I don't like the background, it's too pastel-y. It looks a bit too wishy-washy. And that looks a bit wishy-washy as well. But it's actually inkjet. You can see it's an inkjet print. So it's an inkjet type print. Maybe we're going to have some creative license and make this into going to stretch it vertically. And maybe we're going to switch over to this dot matrix. Yeah, that's a nice cropping. It looks a bit squashed, but it looks really quite interesting. The dot matrix didn't seem to make a great deal of difference, as you'd expect it to, but sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Do wonder maybe we can manipulate the hue of this and the RGB function. I do think we've got more controls we can work with. Yeah, that's as dark as it'll go. Looks interesting. Still looks a bit cold now. This image looks a bit cold. Hate bumping that button. I'm going to lose that. It's going to be lighter. but hopefully the colour will look a lot nicer. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting colour-wise. It looks a bit more wishy-washy, as was to be expected. Still looks a bit like it's not doing much. Going to try something different. I'm going to go to the blue. We're going to make it into something different. Yeah, photocopier art is a lot about experimentation, folks, and problem solving. This is a way that I can learn problem solving skills potentially by trying to use the photocopier and its features as a way of learning how to problem solve. It's one way of thinking anyway, folks. The blue didn't turn up. Looks too blue now. I was hoping it would make it a hotter colour, as it sometimes does. I do think we're going to maybe take it out and see what happens. Take most of it out. Yeah, that's come up looking better in some ways. I can see more of the orange. Looks more interesting. Yeah, less blue. It looks a lot. That's become more hotter, and that's become more cold. So I'm wondering if we're going to utilise that as a master copy and make that as negative positive again and see if we could get an improvement. Don't know how this is going to look. So we're just going to remove the original, which is this bill fragment, and we're going to utilise this as our master copy. It's getting dark, folks. Sorry about that. It's the weather. I'm using natural light, which is can be a real bummer at times when you think about it, folks. But you know, it's what I could switch on the bedroom light. I've got a good bulb in it, but I'm trying to save energy on my power bill because I'm not rich. I'm not a rich artist. I don't do this and make money out of it. So I've got to watch the budget, folks. I've got to watch my budget. Otherwise, it'll just go through the roof. So I can't afford to use artificial lighting except, I do use some torches and a USB lantern, but I just can't afford to switch on the lights, folks. And actually that's come up looking quite brilliant, actually. I like that colour there and the contrast. There's something really authentic about it. I do wonder where the centre of the job is going to be. But yeah, it's really quite an interesting piece we've just created, folks, or part of a piece. So it's experimentation, often photocopier art is. I don't know who this artist is. If she's one of those celebrity types or whether she's just someone in a band, an unknown band. So, just like someone that does gigs around the place. So yeah, it's a bit overcast. It's not overcast, it's dark. It's raining. Actually, it's not raining that much. It's a very light rain, but it's enough to wet things. But it's good to have rain that's not too heavy anyway. It's good to have it just a little bit steady without it coming down too hard, because that washes soil away and fucks everything up. So, yeah. So these are our two mirrored pieces for this job. So this lady, she looks like someone from the 70s, a star or something. And that's come up looking quite interesting. I do wonder, we're going to do a switcheroo, folks. I do think we could do a switcheroo. I'll show you what a switcheroo is, folks. Oh shit, big truck coming by. Oh, fucking dead. Probably shouldn't be on these streets, these narrow. It's got a bit of dirt from that fucking bill. Should have put it on the floor instead of on the bed. I wish I did. So let's see how this looks. I don't know if it's going to look any good. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting, quite surreal. I think we can now call this demo quits.